Yeah, guys, we're starting with some breaking news here at 5. Just moments ago, a car erupted in flames. That vehicle was just taken away by a tow truck right here. You can see some of the crew still cleaning up the remnants right now. It's left behind a pretty significant mess. We are learning new information right now about the death of that 2-year-old boy that happened inside the Amish home you can see just behind me. In speaking with the Barron County Sheriff just moments ago, he told me that they just discovered that it was a gunshot that caused his death. Guys, that's right here on Cumberland Trace Road, a very serious accident, a semi versus motorcycle. And as we all know, that is never a good story. I know a lot of people watching remember when all you needed to go to school was a number 2 pencil like this. Unfortunately, though, that doesn't cut it anymore. Now what you need is all kinds of things that are in this sack right here. A composition book, a notebook. I mean, there were people lined up all throughout this highway. This road actually leads into downtown Albany here in Clinton County. The challenging part for road crews are county roads like this one. Allow people to pull into parking spots at Fountain Square Park. Instead, backing up is the only option. It's a question I have for you. This salt right here, and I'll show our viewers, this is the salt that they use to treat the roadways. When I think of salt, I think of something that sits on my table that I put on my food to make it taste better. Is this the same thing, or is it a different mixture? This morning, a national memorial service was held for Senator John McCain. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Dalton Godbey. Kentucky politicians have poured out condolences for the McCain family. Governor Bevin tweeting, there are very few who have touched the conscience of America like Senator John McCain. Senator Rand Paul also tweeting that he and his wife Kelly were praying for the McCain family, saying he was a man of great courage and conviction. Uncertainty is something that Carl Cheney is most certain of.
You just don't know.
A 4th-generation farmer, Carl tends to 52 head of dairy cattle every day on the family farm just south of Bowling Green.
What you think, sugar?
But much like the clouds that eclipse the sunshine today, large dairy corporations seem to be casting a shadow on local farmers.
They're not going to be buying milk from other processors. They're going to be processing their own.
It was earlier this year when Walmart announced it would be processing its own milk. Shortly after, Dean's Dairy sent out a letter to 11 farmers in Kentucky telling them to find new business by July 1st.
My brother-in-law and my sister up in Shelbyville, Kentucky, they got a letter. And they are really up in the air. They don't know what they're going to do. I'm just afraid that they're not going to be able to find a market for that milk.
Milk prices have dropped nearly 40% since 2014, forcing countless of Kentucky farmers to sell. It's just hard to keep up nowadays.
That's what we strive for every year, is for the dairy to be self-sufficient. And it's just not possible at these prices.
Walk into the Red Barn just up the drive from the cattle.
What can I get for you guys?
You'll find some of the best ice cream in the state.
There you go, sir.
That ice cream at Cheney's Dairy Barn might just have saved the farm in this crisis.
When there are periods like this, when we lose money here at the farm milking cows, the ice cream store is helpful in subsidizing the cows. But because of the ice cream store, we're able to continue to do business.
4 generations, thousands of cows, countless hours of work. This isn't just a job.
What people don't realize is that dairying is a way of life. It's not just a business. It's not something you get into and you get out of. You build relationships with these cows. It becomes a part of you, becomes a part of your family, and you just don't get out.
Uncertainty brings along fear, but it is reality.
I don't know, it's really sad.
Maybe that's what makes things so difficult for dairy farmers across the state. In Warren County,
it's a hard problem.
Dalton Godbey, 13 News. We owe them so much.
We owe them a lot.
We owe it to these forgotten veterans.
Deserve every bit of respect we can give them.
After all, it was them who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
He gave, I survived. He gave all.
As the remains of Private First Class Joe Elmore approach the community that's been waiting to embrace him for 67 years, he's welcomed by every generation.
This guy gave his life, and that's the ultimate sacrifice, and they need to know that he basically died so that they could experience freedom.
Elmore died in 1950, serving our country in the Korean War. For 67 years, his body never returned. Simply forgotten, but not the least bit by this community.
We closed the store to come to pay respects to the deceased vet.
A flat tire on the motorcade during the drive home slowed his arrival, but those who knew Elmore just had to laugh.
He's always been in delays. Seems like he's delayed getting home after he left here, delayed getting home, and now he's delayed a little more. But he'll be here, and we'll be proud to see him go through.
That's right there. He's home now. This is his day.
Amazing turnout.
The day he deserved.
Amazing turnout.
The day they all deserve.
I'd say if you had the camera on me, I'll be a-crying.
But he's coming home.
Welcome home, soldier.
All right, I think that's it.
Dalton Godbey,
Boy.
13 News. Sadness is a feeling that Linda Pettigo knows all too well.
Yeah. I miss her a lot.
Her granddaughter, Kristen Edwards, was killed in 2016. Her body found in a tote floating in Green River. Days later, police arrested Clark Smith for her murder. Clark Smith was next-door neighbors with Kristen's grandmother.
Even after Kristen died, I'd go over there and talk to him and things, even Chris. I'd go over there and watch TV with him. He didn't act like, anything.
That was 2 years ago. It was just last week when Smith pleaded guilty but mentally ill to killing Edwards. Pettigo, though, says she knew her next-door neighbor well enough to know that there was nothing wrong with his mental health.
But he wasn't crazy. He's not crazy. He knowed exactly what he was doing.
She says that the Commonwealth's suggestion of a 25-year sentence is simply not enough.
Well, they would do the same thing to him that he did to her.
2 years living without her pride and joy, her granddaughter Kristen.
I just don't know why.
Not a day goes by when she doesn't ask the question no one seems to have an answer to.
Why did he do it? I don't know why.
Some questions may never be answered.
I don't know.
And that all too familiar sadness may never fade.
I just pray to the good Lord she didn't suffer.
But maybe, just maybe, this case is one step closer to closure for everyone. In Barron County, I'm Dalton Godbey, 13 News.